Steve in Orlando, Florida. Hey, Steve. Thanks for watching.
Hi.
What's on
Hi,
your
Thom.
mind today?
I was. This has been bothering me. I wonder if it's true that on January 3rd there will be a window of a few hours where the Democrats will be in control of the Senate, and they could actually confirm Merrick Garland to the Supreme Court. It wouldn't be a temporary appointment. It would be a real confirmation.
Right. I have heard that argued on both sides, and I think if the Democrats were Republicans, they would have 100 lawyers on it right now. They'd have 1,000 people ready to go into the streets and chant, like they did down in 2000, and they would do it.
And the Democrats just don't care right now?
Well, it's just that Democrats aren't Republicans. Republicans have this philosophy of the ends justify the means. It doesn't matter if what we're doing contaminates the end product of what gets done. The Republicans are just absolutely committed to having power. I mean, if you just compare this election, for example, to 2000, in 2000, you had literally thousands of Republican operatives and lawyers who were mobilized when the outcome of the election in Florida was uncertain. That Jeb Bush had only purged 50,000 black people from the voting rolls. He needed to have purged 60,000 in order to make a clear win for George W. And so they immediately jumped all over that when it was still undecided. This time around, there are several states, particularly with Greg Palast's cross-check information, that clearly look like they were stolen by the Republicans. And where are the Democrats?
I live in Florida.
Crickets.
And,
crickets.
It was bad. And then, of course, later on, all the newspapers in Florida got together, did a count, and found out that Gore had actually won Florida by a large margin.
Yes.
Along with the country.
Yeah, according to the New York Times, by any measure, hanging chads, pregnant chads, busy chads, overvote, undervote, intention to vote, or whatever, by any measure, Al Gore won Florida in 2000. But that news was published, a month after 9/11 in November of 2001. It took them a year to recount those votes.
Right.
And as I think it was Schulzberger was the publisher of the New York Times at the time, whoever the publisher was, somebody asked him about that. Why did you bury that information in the 17th paragraph? And why did the headlines say that even if Gore had recounted the 3 states that he called for, he still would have lost, which was true. If he had just recounted Broward and the other 2 counties, he still would have lost. But the state Supreme Court had ordered to recount the entire state, and that's what the U.S. Supreme Court shut down. And so anyhow, they said, why did you bury that fact in the 17th paragraph that Al Gore actually won Florida and thus is the legal president of the United States? And he said, well, because 9/11 happened, and we don't want to diminish the credibility and authority of the president of the United States during a time of national crisis. Well, frankly, in retrospect, it would have been a really good time to get George Bush out of the way and Al Gore in there right after 9/11.
It does seem, going back to the other, it does seem like that you feel there's a moral problem with the Senate confirming him, and yet they were held for more than a year not to be able to do their job on this.
Confirming whom?
Why should Trump get the appointment?
Oh, Merrick Garland. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that there's a moral problem at all. I'm saying if it's legal and it can be done, I think they should do it. I just am very skeptical that they will. That's my concern. But hey, maybe Harry Reid's still got something up his sleeve. We'll see. Steve, thanks for the call, and thanks for watching Free Speech TV. We'll be right back.